While the Evil Dead franchise has dominated the world of horror, it wasn't long before its evil seeped into the world of comedy, especially with their crossover comic set in Riverdale. Yes, you heard that right. The infamous Deadites, known for feeding on living souls and bringing misery to the living world, have somehow made their way to Archie's comics in this collaboration with Dynamite Entertainment that first hit the shelves on 4th of February 2026. So today, I will be taking you through this Archie X Army of Darkness comic written by Erik Burnham and sketched by Bill Galvan, and tell you all about Archie's victory over the King of Deadites. Released as a 5-part miniseries, this horror comedy crossover starts out in the innocent world of Riverdale, where Reggie Mantle throws a lavish party only for Archie to express his annoyance over it all. While the others call him out on his jealousy, Archie complains about Reggie's bragging and explores the house a little more, while Jughead enjoys the feast. Now, brace yourself for the dark turn in this supernatural chaos as Archie's explorations ends in terrifying consequences as he trips over the carpet and holds on to a handle for support, only for the handle to reveal itself to be a gateway to a dark world. Now, as he pulls on it, the library shelves moves to the sides to reveal a secret room, and Archie leaves no time to explore it in all its glory. In no time, the entire Riverdale team makes their way down the basement and comes across the Necronomicon, the cursed book of horrors. Unfortunately for them, the crew does not know better than to steer clear of it, and it is their innocent ignorance that turns their bright teen comedy world into a violent, horror-filled setting. As Archie ignores all the danger signs and recites the book's words out loud, they experience a rough tremor as the terrifying Deadites spawn from the book and soon turn the party into a bloodbath. After gouging one of the kids' eyes out and scaring most of the invitees into making a run for their lives, the Deadites' army takes control of the place as they look for the one who read from the book. As the panel shifts to Archie's clan, they remain blissfully unaware of the chaos they have stirred up, and Archie continues to cling to the book for dear life when the Deadites finally reveal themselves to the clan. While their entrance ushers this bright teen-spirited group into a world of horror, the comic gives us some time to explore them in their original setting as the story rewinds to a month ago when the clan was out at the mall. This bright, cheerful setting directly contrasts the horrors that are set in store for them, and without any clue of their impending doom, they wander around the mall and complain about a collectible Stormy Dogs being out of stock. In an endeavor to get his hands on them, Archie even gets a job at S-Mart, where his new training manager, Ash, even gives him exactly what he wants. With the Stormy Dogs acquired, Archie finds himself quite surprised and somewhat intrigued by Ash's personality, and he studies him further and notes his metallic hand. Now, this is where things pick up pace as Ash admits that he lost his hand in a fight against the supernatural, aka a legion of soul-sucking Deadites. While he managed to lose them in the past, the issue ends with Ash himself talking about how he is cursed and that he can see the Deadites forming another army to unleash themselves upon him again and again. However, on the bright side, Ash admits that the Deadites have remained out of sight since he moved to Riverdale, and he believes that the curse may have been broken. And while Archie is at a loss for words, he does offer his congratulations as the issue comes to an end. Now, the next issue begins with S-Mart's grand opening, meaning that it is about time for Archie to get his hands dirty and learn a thing or two about working. After seamlessly dealing with absurd customers, Ash hands him his first paycheck, and in no time, he rushes out to get some Stormy Dogs for Betty and Veronica, while also treating himself to a new outfit. While he can't get out of there fast enough, his car has other plans, and Archie ends up hitching a ride with Ash as he heads to Reggie's house. Call it fate or call it bad luck, but as Ash drops him off, his car acts up and leaves him stranded while Archie presents the Stormy Dogs to Betty and Veronica at the mansion. In the meantime, Ash struggles to get his car to work in the dark and even grows increasingly paranoid about the Deadites, but soon talks himself down by talking about how they can't come to life unless someone reads from the Necronomicon Ex Mortis and kickstarts the curse. Much to his relief, Ash does believe that nobody would have a copy of the book in Riverdale, but it is not long before he is proved incorrect as Nimrod, the evil spirit from the book, shows up and reveals that dark magic had delivered a copy of the book to Riverdale, assuring Ash that they get to play again. Nimrod even reveals that someone was finally tempted into reading the book, while another kid named Dilton Doily dodges a Deadite. In this cat and mouse chase case, Doily declares that he cannot outrun them forever and that he needs a weapon to defend himself, while the Deadite prepares to feed on his brain after dodging his bullet attacks. Thankfully, Ash comes to Doily's rescue and gets rid of the Deadite, and the chaos soon catches the squad's attention as Reggie panics about a shotgun. He even calls it a zombie apocalypse, while Betty and Veronica try to calm him down, all while Ash has a front row ticket to the Deadite's chaos. However, he cannot help but wonder how the dark, twisted beings are steering clear of the house, and he himself makes his way there. As he briefs the team about the Deadites, Ash demands to know which one of them found the Necronomicon before expressing his disappointment in Archie. He exasperatedly asks him if he has just not been paying attention to his stories the past few weeks, but his moment of disappointment soon turns into sheer horror as the Stormy Dogs come to life as twisted monsters. They soon threaten to suck the marrow out of one's bones as they come for Ash, and this cliffhanger is exactly where the third issue picks up from. With Archie's squad pulled right into the madness of this creepy, slightly absurd tale of Deadites corrupting a rather peaceful town, the next issue takes a dark turn as the Stormy Dog lunges at Ash. While Ash steps up as the leader and guides the team into severing the collectible-turned monster's Achilles, Archie's gang is flabbergasted as they only watch in complete shock as Ash defeats both these threats. He then continues to declare that there's no way they are upset about the demonic dogs before turning his attention towards Archie and warning him that the Deadites will be after him now that he had read from the Necronomicon. In an attempt to cope with the horror, Ash asks Archie to get the book, and even in such a life-threatening moment, the gang keeps their spirits high as Jughead asks Reggie about any leftovers Harsdusties. Justifying that he does not want to face doom on an empty stomach, Jughead rallies for these snacks while Ash asks Archie to point him out to the book's pages that he had read out loud. Carefully warning him against rereading it, Ash keeps a strict eye as Archie struggles to recollect the pages and eventually gives up as they decide to gather weapons to buy themselves some time, while Archie remembers the cursed pages. While the squad so far observes the chaos, Ash soon puts them all to work as they get into a car and try to break out of the place without drawing the Deadites' attention in a futile attempt to get more weapons. Now, they do end up knocking a couple of supernatural monsters out of the way as they head to S-Mart, while Ash reveals that the place is fortified to fend off crowds and is a safe place to hold out. Moreover, the place has plenty of weapons in the sporting goods section, leaving them with enough ammo to defend themselves while Archie takes his time with recollecting the right page in the Necronomicon. Unfortunately, the overeager hero ends up muttering the phrase as soon as he rediscovers it, and even with Ash clamping his mouth shut, it is far too late. A mere mention of the cursed spell immediately alerts the Deadites, and it does not take any longer than a second for Nimrod to rig them up and warn them of their incoming attack. Unfortunately for them, we learn that the Deadites cannot go rogue until Archie reads out the entire incantation, and since he had only uttered half of it, they were bounced by the Necronomicon to behave themselves. However, nothing stops them from having a little bit of fun, which leads us to the comic's shocking highlight as they reveal Deadite-style doppelgangers of Archie's squad. With perfect doppelgangers of Betty, Veronica, Reggie, Archie, and Jughead appearing at the scene, the stakes run deeper than ever as the Deadites plan to unleash these twisted versions of our chirpy heroes into the S-Mart. Moreover, their plan only gets more robust as they intend for these doppelgangers to capture Archie and force him into finishing the incantation, and as the scene shifts to our actual gang, we see our unsuspecting heroes making dinner plans as their Deadite versions infiltrate the place. By the start of issue 4, the comic has officially turned Riverdale into a demonic place as our titular characters face their own Deadite versions and improvise using bats, guns, and arrows to fend off. In the meantime, Ash convinces Archie to utter the incantation in its entirety, thereby summoning Nimrod and the Deadites to S-Mart. While this presents an exciting chance for the Deadites to wreak havoc, Nimrod sees right through Ash's schemes and even wonders if this is all a part of a greater scheme, while the more simple-minded Deadites already break through S-Mart's glass and flood the place. Much to no one's surprise, Ash does have a plan in place, and he uses explosives to slow the Deadites while also urging Archie to be prepared to read the incantation once again. He further reveals a chainsaw that would kill the incoming army of Deadites, all while Archie fumbles the spell and leads Ash to realize they would have to travel elsewhere to utter the spell effectively. Soon enough, they decide to make their way to Pops, as it was a place that held happy memories for them, and as they make their way out, Ash even strikes down Jughead's Deadite in a bloody, gory style that is much unlike the world of Riverdale. With a splash of blood blood and violence corrupting the otherwise innocent town, Ash finally leads the kids to their last leg of the fight in a violence-filled finale, and even inspires them by talking about this is the home stretch. He ensures that they all have something to fight with while also warning them to stay quiet. But alas, his warnings come a bit too late, as they find themselves cornered by Deadites in no time. With one of them even targeting Archie and the Chosen One and his acolytes, they soon jump into battle as they use their axes, chainsaws, and baseball bats to smash the undead spirits' heads into nothingness. In the meantime, Nimrod figures out their plan and heads to Pops before they could have themselves made it there, and the comic takes a nail-biting turn as Ash urges Archie to read a passage out loud and put an end to the madness. Unfortunately, this turns out to be a tough task, with Deadite Archie lunging at the original fellow and even striking him down, while Ash personally keeps Nimrod busy and declares that they are all finished if Archie does not break the curse in time. With Deadite Archie inching closer with a sword, the original Archie gathers the courage to use the Necronomicon to swipe the sword out of his hand, all while uttering the spell out loud. In a horrific turn of events, the Deadites soon catch on fire and disappear into nothingness. But their troubles are far from over as they look behind to find Archie unconscious. As they rush him to the ER, the comic keeps the suspense alive and eventually jumps a month into the future, where thankfully Archie is alive and well. In fact, the entire gang is reunited at Pops for a celebratory meal, as a television news channel paints the incident as an unfortunate series of vicious bear attacks, while our heroes debrief about the ordeal. We also learn that Ash has left his cool metal hand behind for Archie, almost as if he was passing on the mantle, while Ash himself got reassigned to Hawaii. Now, of course, the comic does end with a hint of trouble as Ash lounges by the beach and daydreams about not having to deal with the Deadites for a while, only for Nimrod's face to appear in his drink as the comic wraps up for good. With Deadite-style variants of themselves and a storyline revolving around cursed books and even more ill-fated humans, Archie's crossover with the Army of Darkness was the opposite of everything you'd expect from a tale set in Riverdale. Perhaps that's exactly what makes this crossover so intriguing, as it manages to create an atmosphere of terror in a world defined by innocence, cheery characters, and a peaceful town where once worst problems might revolve around acquiring collectible Stormy dogs. But that's all for me. I'm curious to know what you think of this evil, horror-filled comic collaboration that merged Archie's fun-spirited gang with a world of undead spirits, with teen drama meeting demonic horror in the most unexpected circumstances. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. A subscription is the best way to be updated on all our latest content. This is the V of Marvelous Videos. I'll be seeing you on the next one. Peace.